How's it going, everyone? It's been a while since I did a tournament recap video, and that's because I haven't really been going to them very much because my locals is kind of a cesspool of Dragapult right now. But I made an exception this week, and it's because I found a new deck that I love even more than Uxie Spread. Do you remember a couple of weeks ago when I made this video about how I held a tournament where everyone tried to gaslight each other, and then a follow-up video using the winning deck list and continued to gaslight people on the ladder? Well, I like gaslighting people. It's fun. So I spent some time and reworked it and made it more in the style that I like to play, and well, it's really good. So good that I went and bought all the cards to play it in real life, and it ended up costing me a grand total of about $8. And it's all rotation proof, which is awesome. So because Ziv was one of the first to become a channel member, I wanted to do something as a thank you, and so I took a version of his list into locals to try it in real life. So here's the list I took, right? I swapped out his B-Barrel engine for a rotation proof Dunsparce engine, and I changed the Prime Catcher A-Spec for an Enriching Energy. Now, Enriching Energy is usually pretty trash, right? Draw 4 off an energy attachment is mega mid. I agree. But in a Dunsparce draw engine, look at this ability. Runaway Draw lets you shuffle all attached cards into the deck, including Enriching Energy, meaning you get to recycle it over and over. As you get closer to the bottom of the deck, your draws become insane. Now, the problem with using Enriching Energy is that it uses your attachment for turn, which means that we can either attach the Chandelure to attack, or Dunsparce to draw. So I added 2 Melas in here, since we'll be getting knocked out pretty often. Mela, of course, accelerating a fire energy if you had a Pokemon get knocked out last turn, and then drawing to 6. However, with the amount of drawing that Dunsparce can do, it is fairly often that we will have more than 6 cards in hand. So maybe Mela isn't the right supporter in here. That's what one of my Discord members told me anyway. Swax, I'm still mad at you for bringing Snorlax into one of my cook-offs, but you're right. There is a supporter better than Mela in here, and it occurred to me after my second match when I played a boss to win the game. Spoiler alert for later in the video, I looked at the card for a little bit and it hit me. Giovanni. Giovanni's charisma. That's the answer, because Chandelure likes to have cards in the opponent's hand. That's why we have the ability to give the opponent more cards, and we have time to gaslight them into thinking that they want more cards, or making the conscious choice to get it wrong and give us 4 more cards. Not only is it energy acceleration, it's energy disruption, and it gives them a card by putting that energy into their hand. 1 more card means 30 more damage. You see where I'm going with this? So that's the list I did take, but this is the list I would recommend now, swapping Mela for Giovanni. And my favorite thing about this deck is how simple it is. A 4-2-4 of Chandelure, a 3-3 of Dudunsparce, Budew to buy us some time to set up, and Bloodmoon Ursaluna if they manage to pull off a late game Iono, and we end up with only about 2 cards in hand. We can still be hitting very hard. Supporters changed a little bit. I added in Hassel because he's pretty good in single prize decks. If your Pokemon was knocked out last turn, look at the top 8 cards and choose 3. It's like Cynthia's Ambition, except this deck likes it even better because we are almost always going to have more than 8 cards. We still have 1 copy of Tyme as an homage to the original tournament this deck came from. We've got the 2 Giovannis, 2 Boss, and instead of Iono, this deck plays something a little more fun. This suggestion came directly from Trust Your Pilot, who I happened to play a match against as my first opponent when I built this deck. He told me I was a weirdo and that he didn't like me. I don't like me either. But Lucian has both players shuffle their hand at the bottom of the deck, and flip a coin. If you flip heads, you draw 6. If tails, you draw 3. So later in the game, there's a 50-50 chance you can get your opponent to draw 6 cards. That's 180 damage before you do any of your Alluring Light shenanigans. It's a gamble, but it has mattered before. Also, it's different. Different is fun. I'm not a weirdo. But anyway, how'd it do at locals? I'll break it down round by round. In round 1, I went up against a Walking Wake deck, and I kind of feel bad for this guy. He bricked for a good chunk of the game. I started off with a pretty bad hand until my top deck got me a Buddy-Buddy, which I was able to use to set up with 2 Litwicks and 2 Dunsparce. Otherwise, a pretty bricky hand. I had an Ultra Ball for Dunsparce next turn though. He plays Nest Ball for a Walking Wake and gets a double turbo on it, but otherwise he couldn't move the bonnet, so he passes. The Ultra Ball for Dunsparce actually got me what I needed for a turn 2 Chandelure. I candied it up and was able to evolve the Litwick in the back to a Lampent, but even with the Alluring Light, I did not pull an energy, so I passed. Still, his early brick meant that he had a big hand. He managed to get the Walking Wake in the active and was able to one-shot me due to weakness. Luckily, I had already evolved to a Lampent and managed to get a Night Stretcher to get me that Chandelure back. I hit Alluring Light again, which gave me another Dunsparce, and I was finally able to pull an energy. So I was able to one-shot the Walking Wake, and by this point I already had 10 cards in hand, so I was able to escape my early bad hand because of a lucky Dunsparce pull. Otherwise, this could have gone really bad. But the downside of this is that he was able to come back with the Mew EX genome hacking to KO my active Chandelure with his own Mind Ruler. Not a bad play, but Mew only has 180 HP, meaning it didn't take me very much to counter KO it. Which I did do, because this deck is really good at recycling Litwicks. I was able to get a new one off every turn and was very consistently able to get a new Chandelure from this point on every time it got knocked. This match was a pretty easy dub. I won it only losing 2 prizes, and I did feel kind of bad for the guy because only on his final turn did he finally get anything going. But a win is a win, on to the next. Round 2 was against an Archelodon player, and we have weakness advantage on metal deck, so I was excited for this one. He started with a Duraludon in the active, and I started a Litwick. This one also started a little bit bricky for me, but his situation was just as bad. He did manage to bench a Dialga V and was forced to pass. I got 2 Dunsparce on the bench, but otherwise no way of getting any movement, so I passed 2. A lucky early Iono on his part kind of bailed me out here. Pulled the Dunsparce right from it, and I got out of my bad situation, but he had hit me for 30 damage on Duraludon's first attack. So instead I decided to attach the energy to the Litwick in the back, assuming that I wouldn't be able to pull off the Candy Chandelure this turn. And it was a good call because I could not. He also struggled in his turn and resorted to hitting me for another 30 damage and knocked out my Litwick. I always like to promote the free retreat Dunsparce in case anything goes wrong, but this time it didn't. I hit the runaway draw and finally I got everything I needed for a Chandelure. I candied it and bossed the Dialga V for a KO because he was very clearly setting it up for a Star Chronos. He had 3 energy on it already and I didn't think I'd be able to survive 2 turns of that. So with that gone, I was in a much better spot. But one thing I forgot about was that Metal Defender, which means no weakness next turn. So instead of needing only 5 cards to knock it out, I now needed 10. I could not get 10, so I ended up hitting it for 180, after which he turroed it and promoted a new one and hit me again for another Metal Defender. But like I said, this deck is really good at recycling Litwicks, so I was constantly able to get new ones, and I managed to have 2 Chandelures out by this point. So every chance I could, I gave him more cards. Even if it means I can't get a KO this turn, it still helps to set up for a future turn. But he was smart, and he knew he needed to play everything he could to thin out his hand. He admitted it was weird to have him thin out his hand rather than his deck, but he liked the concept. This dude is actually really nice. He complimented every card choice in here, from the Tyme to the Lucian to the Mela. He was all about it. But he made one crucial mistake. He scooped up Cyclone another Archelodon, which sent all of those cards back into his hand. And then he forgot to rebench the Duraludon when he promoted the next one for Metal Defender, which left him with 9 cards in hand, exactly enough for me to Alluring Light and then one-shot the next Archelodon. He asked if he could take it back, and normally I would be nice and allow it, but he had ended his turn already, and that one misplay would have been the difference between a KO and missing it altogether, so I declined to let him take it back. There was a boss play that I let him take back later though. He had counter-captured one Dunsparce and then bossed another one just to thin out his hand, but then he realized he messed up and should have taken the Lampent instead. But this time I did let it go. But then I managed to retaliate with a boss on the Fez to end the game. This one actually went on really long. They gave us 35 minutes to play and we went all the way to time. Mostly because of me and my 10,000 shuffles. I think I was bad at shuffling going into this tournament, but I'm good at it now. Thanks, Chandelure. Round 3. This one was against a TikToker playing Raging Bull. I mentioned him in a previous tournament recap video and he remembered me and my Oopsie list from the last time. But this one went really bad. Bricks for both of us. Eventually he did Iono himself to a better hand, but my hand didn't get any better. I had to call for family twice my turn, and ended up taking 3 prizes somehow, but this was a pretty nasty L and I didn't even really get a chance to set up anything. Not a whole lot to discuss here because I bricked like nobody's business. Round 4 was against the Round 2 guy's brother, who was equally as nice. He loved the idea of the deck but was really confused as to what it was. He was thinking it was some kind of control at first and then some kind of mill, so he was trying to figure me out for half the game. He was playing Festival Grounds. Now the one thing I will say this deck is really weak to other than Iono is a strong single prize deck. Sure, we can take them out for a pretty low hand size, but we're meant to be taking out 2 prizers. We don't do as well here because any cards we give to them is significantly more helpful without much of a return on investment in the damage department. So when I hit him with a Tyme, I asked him the HP of Bloodmoon Ursaluna. He did struggle, but he got it right, giving him 4 cards. Normally that means 120 more damage for us, so regardless of whether he guesses it right or not, it's good for us in some way. But not here. That 120 damage makes no difference in this matchup, and he used it to set up really well. I bumped his Festival Grounds twice, but he kept finding more. I took out his Grookey's, but he kept finding more. I did end up playing Bloodmoon Ursaluna towards the end because he really didn't see much action in this tournament at all. But he ended the match with a max belt for 300 damage on the double attack. I lost this one pretty handily too. Took 3 prizes and ended the day 2-2. Overall, I love this experience playing this deck, mostly because of no Dragapult matches. But also because everyone had fun playing against this one. They felt they were forced to think differently than ever before, which is my favorite way to play. It's like control, but a different kind of control. I'm controlling their thoughts. People were making weird misplays because they wanted to thin down their hand, and so they were spending cards way before they were ready to. The gaslighting works. I'll say it, I love this deck more than Uxie Spread. Let's take it into the ladder so you can see for yourself. This one will be using Giovanni's Charisma. Be content not being in RCS League right now. because from what I'm hearing, it is a cesspool of Dragapult right now. Which, I mean, the regular ladder has a lot of it too, but not quite to that extent. Let's see. Alrighty, we got a Litwick to start. That's nice. And a Buddy-Buddy. No energy though. This is looking like Raging Bolt. Alright. Raging Bolt isn't too bad. We can deal with that. That's about all I got for right now. Oh, I should have moved it when I had the chance. I didn't know Raging Bolt plays Budew. Very annoying. Okay. Got another Litwick. Can get TM Evo and an Ultra Ball. Just want to thin that out so I can have a better chance of pulling an energy. You must be bricking too. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Okay, I mean, Litwick is fun and cool and all, but I need something else. Like, give me... Let's go ahead and Lucian. Okay, I draw 6. That's good. No energy, though. Tails, he draws 3. That's actually kind of what we want right now. Okay, let's do that. Runaway draw. Energy, thank you. Jesus. Okay. Evolution. Both of these. Okay, so that Lucian actually went pretty well. What's he got? What's he got? Probably just an Itchy Pollen again. Yep, it does not have enough to go off of, so we're just gonna take advantage of that. Let's go ahead and Alluring Light. I know that gives him something to work with, but I think this is what we want. Let's get a 60 HP. Do I go in for a Live Coal? Live Coal kills it. I think we be patient. We be patient. We go for the Live Coal. Yeah, we'll do that. Live Coal, take down the Budew. And hope that he doesn't have anything to kill us next turn. Sounds like a play to me. Yeah, he's not ready. Promoting the Ogerpon. It's a bad sign. Alright, he's gonna Teal Dance it. He can do a manual attach and knock me out. Boss's orders. Yeah, he's got it. Okay. But is he gonna kill the Litwick or is he gonna boss something else? Chandelure is one of your favorite Pokemon of all time. That's pretty cool. It's he's actually in my top 10, I would say. I like it a lot. Fire Ghost, excellent combo. Alright, what you bossing? Bossing the Budew. Yeah, that's probably a good move. Alright, so we need 7 cards in his hand in order to knock out the Ogerpon. He's gonna get 1 from this prize. Alright. So we can Giovanni onto this Dunsparce, the Enriching Energy. Alright. And then we do this. Send them right back. When we draw, we do have a Candy Chandelure. We can do that. We can do this. We can Buddy-Buddy. Yeah, let's do that. We have just enough to knock it out. Oh, actually, we have type advantage against grass anyway. So that's pretty good. I don't need a stretcher for nothing. Let's just hit him for 420. Blaze it, boys. What's your opinions and thoughts about post-rotation? Do you mean like in general, like which decks are going to be good, or like what, like my thoughts about rotation altogether? I think I feel bad that rotation is happening to some of my favorite cards, like Irida, for example. Oh, okay, you're talking about which decks you're looking forward to. Yeah, the Zoroark looks fun. I'm very excited for some of the new stuff, because I feel like Prismatic was kind of weak. Didn't bring us a whole lot. It brought us Budew and it brought us Regigigas, which, I mean, they're fun, but I just need new stuff, you know? So, whenever Journey Together comes out, I'm going to be grinding really hard for the new content. I'm really just trying to get everything I can out the window. Alright, so he is thinning out as much as he possibly can. Remember, we need 8 cards in his hand to knock out a Raging Bolt. 7 for a Teal Mask. Yeah, Prismatic is pretty horrible. It's rough. PAL pad gets the Sadas back. And the boss. Or I think he just did the boss. I don't think he did Sada. Oh, he did. He did. Pokemon Catcher. Alright, what are you taking? He took a Chandelure. I am very surprised by this. Alright, Bellowing Thunder. What does he lose, though? Does he take it off of his... Okay, he does. Alright. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go up with the Lampent. Go up with the Lampent. And I'm going to go ahead and stretch her back the Chandelure we just lost. Alright, so now we need 10 cards in his hand to knock him out. So that's a lot more rough than before. So if I can... Let's go ahead and start with the Alluring Lights. 6 in hand. 7 in hand. We are ahead on prizes now. Okay, let me think. Let's go ahead and start getting rid of these guys. I think I'd rather have a boss. Yeah. Okay. We can just attach that. Let's go ahead and Dunsparce Artazon, get us the other Dunsparce back. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. But I could boss the Latias. Either one would be a good take. Okay. We could also potentially gaslight him with Tyme and make him think that he wants more cards. But I'm not going to chance that. I think we just... hang on. Do I have a Litwick in the... I do have a Litwick in there. Alright, let's go ahead and Super Rod that back. Yeah, I think I do boss Latias. Alright, let's go ahead and do that. Ultra Ball, this, and this. Get us a fourth one set up. And then 210. Mind Ruler, and we're down to one prize. So we don't need a whole lot to win now. We are in pretty good shape. My Munchlax is dancing circles around me. Look at him. Look at him. What a guy. Oh, he's got all the shiny cards. Look at that. Very nice, very nice. Man's all about his bling. That's a lot of bling. It's all full arts. I don't even know if we have a golden energy retrieval. I don't know if I would even play one if I had one. You don't have any single prize Pokemon? Oh, you do. Okay. I stand corrected. And here comes the Iono. Okay. I'm not too worried about this. Okay, we got... Oh, and he drops the Artazon too. That's kind of rough. Okay. This is fine. Let's go ahead and promote the float, as they say. Go ahead and Alluring Light. Get us a Buddy-Buddy, that's okay. And we won't take the knockout, but we're gonna attack anyway. We're gonna go ahead and go in for 150. I'm not gonna sit around and let him boss me. That would feel worse. I'm sure this deck runs Pokemon catchers too, so. I know he used one. Why not Pokestop? Because I've already used a ton of my items, and I'm sure I don't have that many left. I don't feel like milling myself. I'm not a big gambler. Alright, he's going to switch card to a new Raging Bolt. Energy Retrieval gets him another fighting, and he can knock me out there. That's kind of rough. What's that? Oh, that's my phone. Ah, he did get a Pokemon catcher. Why play it? Isn't the Chandelure what you want? Oh, Prime Catcher, okay. It's an interesting way to do things. I guess you're just trying to thin out your hand. Okay. He's starting to catch up. That Iona was pretty rough. Let's get you up front. Hey, perfect. Alright. That's game, I'm pretty sure. Perfect top deck. We get the Chandelure, and he concedes before I can even do it. The Toxic Concede. One of my buddies this morning was telling me that he's been trying to make a video for like 3 hours in Arceus, and it's just been Dragapult, 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 and it's like, it's terrible content because that's all he's facing. And the deck he was trying to make a video on is not very good into a Dragapult matchup. And so I don't know how you make that kind of content. Oh, I didn't mean to do that, but I think I do want to go first anyway, so that's fine. I am perfectly content with my jank decks and not being in Arceus League. Okay, let's take our mulligan. Well, the reason why I play jank in ladder is because I want to show that, you know, jank can work. And so, this is interesting. Got a Charizard V. I saw an Arceus in there too. We want Budew for next turn. Let's do that. Yeah, can't do nothing with that right now. What do we got? Incinerate. Before doing damage, discard all tools from the active. Heat Blast. So Charizard V-Star, okay. Alright, we got Dunsparce, we like that. Which means that I feel a little bit more comfortable going in for a Litwick right now. Might as well check our prices, huh? What do we have in there? Our Enriching Energy is here. We priced... looks like nothing too important. We do have 2 candies. The other 2 are in hand right now. 3 Ultra Balls. Okay, so nothing too special is in there. So let's go ahead and drop that there, retreat it. And Itchy Pollen. Delphox V. This is like a all-around, just like a firebox kind of deal. More Charmanders. Alright, I think we have Buddy hold the line as long as he can, while Artazon gets us our stuff. Boss. Okay. I don't love that, but at least we can do. Okay, this is good actually. We can work with that. All right, so let's go ahead and get another Litwick. Let's drop Hassel and the boss. Get us the Dunsparce. We're gonna start rolling now. We're just gonna get it moving. Okay, we'll do that. We'll go ahead and drop that there, and then we're going to keep using Itchy Pollen. We're set up with 4 Litwicks now, which is nice. Will Lilius Clefairy help me in the Dragapult matchup from any decks, especially Uxie spread? So yeah, Lilius Clefairy will help with a Zelf only, because it won't help Uxie, because it does effects of damage, right? Or effects of attacks. So it does not multiply that, but it does help with pretty much every other aspect. If you run other Psychics in there, it helps too. I think even Lilius Clefairy itself is a good attacker with the Full Moon Rondo. But yeah, I think it definitely will help. That and the Shaman and the Maractus that's coming, all of those will be good for Uxie spread. I'm definitely going to revisit that deck once Journey Together comes out. But until then, it is very hard for me to advise playing it. Alright, so let's go ahead and get our first guy candied up. Gonna go ahead and Enriching Energy on this guy. Alright, then evolve him. Runaway Draw. Don't even have to Artazon because we get our new one already. And I think I could just knock him out, can I? Yeah, I can. Let's do it. Okay, you have been released from your item lock. Here, and have an extra card too. Why not? Okay. Actually, let's go ahead and play what we got. Get a Lampent. Okay, now we might roll for 240. Knock him out. This deck does have very long turns. He is free of his item lock. He has 9 cards now. If he can't get Charizard up, I would be very surprised. Oh, yep, he's got it. Yes, yes, keep giving yourself cards. Okay, we're down to 22 cards now, which is kind of nice. Alright, he's down to 6. Let's see, what can he do with that? 2 energy in a lost zone, 120 to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon. That's not too much of a threat, because we're just out of range at that for our Chandelures. Not a huge deal. Okay, he takes 1 prize. He's at 7 cards now. We need 11 to take out a Charizard in one shot. So, let's go ahead and get started with that. Super Rod. I think we do want to Super Rod all of our boys back. Let's get you, and you. Not even you, just... Yeah, we got 3 Fire Energies in discard right now. Actually, I think we do want it. Okay. Bench that, and evolve it. Okay, so let me think about this. Let me go ahead and promote this guy first. Let's go ahead and Artazon, get our other guy back. No, I think I want the Litwick. We're at that point in our deck where it's not too important anymore. So let's see. Let's go ahead and attach. Yeah, I don't think I'm taking out the Charizard this turn. I think it's a little out of range, so I think we just boss the Delphox. Let's do that. I don't want to get greedy. And now that I think about it, I definitely could have stretchered that Chandelure and had it this turn. That's okay. Boss. The Delphox. 240. Alrighty. So if you were to Iono me right now, that'd be kind of rough, because I don't have any Chandelure set up in the back to get my hand back. And I have a lot of really good stuff in here right now. We'll see how it goes. Does he have enough energy though? He does have enough energy. Okay. Alright, Star Birth. You can search for any 2 cards. I would be surprised if he doesn't take Iono here. He doesn't take Iono. Interesting. Right, let's promote this guy, because he's not necessarily a float, but he can be if we need him to be. Alright, let's go ahead and Stretcher the Chandelure. Just want to see what we got there. Alright, we can take a new Dunsparce, that's not a problem. Okay. Let's do an Alluring Light. That's 9 cards. Alright, we're going to go ahead into Dunsparce. Get us 3 more. Alright, we've got a candy now. Stretcher you back. Okay, okay. So, yeah, I once again cannot one-shot this Charizard. So, I think what I do then is Arven Ultra Ball. Giovanni does hurt him, and it gives him a card as well. I think right now what I really want is to have more Chandelures set up, just in case we get a late game Iono. Time is fun. Alright. Okay. We'll do that. We'll miss it by 30, which is kind of unfortunate, but we're ahead by a good amount, so we'll be okay. Gravity Mountain could be good, but it also hurts us. Brings us down to 100, which, I mean, I know we're single prizers anyway, so I don't know how much that really matters. But still, sometimes that makes all the difference. I do have a Defiance Band in here, but I think I threw it out. I did not. Oh, I did. Yeah, there it is. But we pulled ahead too quickly, so I'm okay with the fact that we don't have it. We don't have access to it right now. Okay. Alrighty. We need an energy now. Yeah, you're right about that. It does enable hands, which is not great. What do you think? Do we do time? He's at that point now. Let's go ahead and Alluring Light. Hopefully we can get a... Nope, no fire energy. We do get a rare candy though. Yeah, let's go ahead and increase our odds. Put all that back. Come on. Give me a fire energy. Alright, did we use our Earthen Vessel? I don't think we did. We can use Earthen Vessel. Let's go ahead and play Arven. Earthen Vessel's prized. Okay. You know what? Here, screw you. Yeah, you might be right. I think it could be a decent inclusion in here. I find that I don't use a TM Evo as much as I would like to, so maybe I could cut that for one. But also Artazon is super nice for this, because you can just keep recycling stuff. This is all for my tournament recap video. I'm working on breaking down how it all went. Okay, Iono gets me down to 2. We kind of expected that would happen. This is a pretty good draw, a good pull though. Alright. That's fine. That's fine. That's not a bad deal. Let's go ahead and promote this one since we're going to get rid of it anyway. Okay. So if we can just pull... Let's see. What do we need? We need a boss. Alright. And this is the combo that I love in here, right? Watch this, watch this. So Giovanni can accelerate the Enriching Energy onto the Dunsparce. And it still counts as an attachment from hand, which I am a big fan of. Okay, you run away, draw. Go ahead and promote you. Bloodmoon Ursaluna is good, but I think we hold him for now. He did have a second Iono, which is kind of tough, but we're gonna be all right. We're gonna be all right. We'll do 210 right now. Yeah, he had 2 Ionos. I would be very surprised if he had a third. Alright, what is the play? Internet crashed, for a little, got distracted, forgot you were watching something on YouTube. Yeah, that's okay. It happens to me. Alright, so we just need 4 cards on him, 1 card on him, or a Bloodmoon. Really? Right. Going for the Arceus V-Star. Do you have anything else to attach, or are you just using him to hold the line? Bro was literally cooking. Yeah. He certainly was. Okay. Alright, so we got the 180. Let's go ahead and attach this here. I don't know if I want to be drawing a whole lot more than I am right now. I don't know if I have Boss. I mean, Boss could be in here. Let me see. Artazon lets me check at least. No, I don't have Boss in here. I didn't play it, did I? Let me see. Oh, I did play both of my bosses. Okay. That explains a lot. Alright. We're just going to go ahead and attack for 180 then. I doubt he's got another Iono, because he's running out of stuff that he can do right now. I don't run Palpad. I've actually never run a Palpad in any of my decks. I don't believe in Palpad. Once that support is used, it's gone. That's the way it should be. I just made that up. Great. What does that do? The top 7 cards. Except my brother in Christ. No, don't my brother in Christ me. I don't like Palpad. I think it's a waste of a card. It's a waste of a slot in my deck, I should say. It's good in some decks. Like decks that need to be cycling Scramble Switch. What? Well, there you go. There you go. There's a... Here's an example of how you can use Scramble Switch. No, I disagree. It's not good in all decks. I don't think he has enough energy, though. Unless you got a third one in there somewhere. Doesn't have it. Okay. So I don't know if I want to be hitting too hard right now. We can do Alluring Light once. Push comes to shove, we can just Lucian. We'll do that. Well, let's just attach, just to be safe. Alright, next turn, if you can't pull an energy, even if you can, we're just gonna Lucian. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Palpad is good in a lot of decks. Just none of the decks that I run. Alright, you got the boss. Okay, we got game. I don't even have to do nothing. What we got there, guys? I ain't playing no silly, stupid looking Palpad. I agree. We don't need no silly, stupid looking Palpad. It's definitely janky to be sure. You won't be consistently taking out S-tier decks with it, but it's fun to play, and to me that's more important than its meta value. I want to thank you all for watching and for making it this far. 2 events coming up I want to keep you aware of. The first is that Toxtricity Tournament happening on March 29th, and the Creators Tournament on April 5th. Both are at 11 AM Eastern, and many great content creators will be streaming it. So if you don't tune into my stream, tune into one of theirs and help them build. It'll be a fun time. I'll see you then.